In the vast expanse of the Caribbean Sea, where countless travelers find paradise, one family's dream vacation transformed into an enduring nightmare. On March 24th, 1998, aboard the Rhapsody of the Seas cruise ship, 23-year-old Amy Lynn Bradley vanished without a trace. What began as a cherished family getaway would spiral into one of the most perplexing maritime mysteries of our time, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions that span decades. Hey, this is a missing person cold case. Your engagement helps keep these cases in the public eye and could lead to new information coming forward. I'm asking you to please subscribe, like, and engage so that the algorithm will push this video to more people. Hopefully, someone might have information about it. Thank you. And let's continue. Amy Lynn Bradley was born on May 12, 1974, in Petersburg, Virginia. With striking features, including distinctive tattoos, a gecko lizard on her navel, a Tasmanian devil spinning a basketball on her shoulder, a sun on her lower back, and a Chinese symbol on her right ankle, Amy was impossible to miss in a crowd. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, with short brown hair and green eyes, she carried herself with the confidence of a former competitive swimmer and basketball player. Growing up in Chesterfield County, Virginia, Amy was the pride of her family. Intelligent, athletic, and fiercely independent. She had recently graduated from Longwood University with a degree in physical education and had just secured a promising position as a computer consultant. Her father, Ron Bradley, would later recall how Amy's face lit up when she talked about her future plans. In March 1998, the Bradley family, Amy, her parents Ron and Iva, and her brother Brad, decided to celebrate their recent successes with a Caribbean cruise. The choice seemed perfect. 7 days aboard Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas, visiting exotic ports and creating lasting memories together. Amy was particularly excited, having never been on a cruise before. The family boarded the massive vessel in San Juan, Puerto Rico, on March 21, 1998. The ship was impressive, nearly 1,000 feet long, with multiple decks, restaurants, and entertainment venues. The Bradleys were assigned cabin 1026 on deck 6, a comfortable space with a private balcony overlooking the endless blue waters. The first 2 days of the cruise passed like a dream. Amy, despite being an initially hesitant swimmer in open water, found herself enjoying the ship's amenities. She spent time by the pool, participated in onboard activities, and bonded with her family. Photographs from these days show her smiling, relaxed, and carefree, images that would later haunt her family. On the evening of March 23rd, the ship docked in Oranjestad, Aruba. The Bradley family enjoyed dinner together before heading to the ship's disco, Blues Club, where they spent several hours dancing and socializing. Security camera footage would later show Amy interacting with the ship's band, Blue Orchid. In particular, she was seen talking with one of the band members, Alistair Douglas, known as Yellow. According to her family, Amy seemed to be having a wonderful time, though they noted she remained responsible, drinking only a few alcoholic beverages throughout the evening. At around 1 a.m. on March 24th, the family decided to return to their cabin. Amy and her father remained on the deck for a while longer, sharing a moment as they watched the lights of Aruba twinkle in the distance. The last confirmed sighting of Amy was by her father at approximately 5:30 a.m. Ron Bradley awoke briefly and saw his daughter sleeping on the cabin's balcony lounge chair. She had chosen to sleep there, something not unusual given the cabin's stuffiness and her preference for fresh air. She was wearing a white t-shirt and blue shorts, the last outfit anyone would ever see her in. When Ron woke again at 6 a.m., Amy was gone. Her cigarettes and lighter remained on the table, but her sandals were missing. At first, he assumed she had gone for an early morning walk, perhaps to get coffee or watch the sunrise. But as the minutes ticked by, an unsettling feeling began to grow in the pit of his stomach. Little did the Bradley family know, their search for Amy was about to begin. A search that would span continents, decades, and lead investigators down some of the darkest paths imaginable. This is a missing person cold case. Your engagement helps keep these cases in the public eye and could lead to new information coming forward. I'm asking you to please subscribe, like, and engage so that the algorithm will push this video to more people. Hopefully, someone might have information about it. Thank you. And let's continue. The morning sun had barely risen over the Caribbean horizon when Ron Bradley's concern turned to panic. Something wasn't right. Amy, always considerate of her family's feelings, would never disappear without telling someone. More disturbing was the fact that her shoes were gone, but her other personal belongings remained untouched. By 6:30 a.m., Ron had already begun searching the ship's corridors. The Rhapsody of the Seas was massive, a floating city housing thousands of passengers across multiple decks. He checked the gym, knowing Amy's dedication to fitness might have drawn her there. Empty. He searched the breakfast areas, the deck, and even returned to the Blues Club. No sign of his daughter. At 7 a.m., he returned to the cabin and woke his wife, Iva. The look on his face told her everything she needed to know. Something was terribly wrong. Together, they approached the ship's staff, requesting an announcement over the intercom system. Their request was met with what they would later describe as disturbing nonchalance. It wasn't until 8 a.m., nearly 2 hours after Amy's disappearance was noticed, that the ship's staff finally agreed to make an announcement. By then, the Rhapsody of the Seas had already left Aruban waters and was heading toward Curaçao, its next scheduled stop. The initial search of the ship was, in the Bradley family's opinion, inadequate. Security personnel conducted what the family described as a cursory inspection, suggesting that Amy might have fallen overboard, a theory the Bradleys vehemently rejected. Amy was an excellent swimmer, had a fear of deep water, and most importantly, was sleeping on a balcony with high railings that would have been difficult to fall over accidentally. The ship's security cameras, which might have provided crucial evidence, revealed a troubling detail. Many weren't functioning properly that night. Those that were working showed no signs of Amy falling overboard or moving through the ship's common areas after 5:30 a.m. Interviews with the crew and passengers began to paint a concerning picture of the hours before Amy's disappearance. Several passengers reported seeing a band member, Yellow, in close proximity to Amy during the previous evening. While there was no evidence of wrongdoing, his attention toward Amy had been notable enough for multiple witnesses to mention it. More disturbing were reports from 2 passengers who claimed to have seen Amy in an elevator with a uniformed crew member around 5:45 a.m. The witnesses described her as looking uncomfortable, but at the time, they hadn't thought much of it. This sighting, if accurate, would be the last confirmed glimpse of Amy on the ship. The Bradley family's frustration mounted as they perceived a lack of urgency in the investigation. The ship's protocol for missing persons seemed inadequate, and precious hours were lost before proper authorities were notified. It wasn't until the ship docked in Curaçao that local authorities and the FBI became involved. The FBI's initial investigation revealed several critical pieces of information. First, Amy's pose in her last known photographs showed no signs of intoxication or distress. Second, none of her possessions were missing except her cigarettes, lighter, and sandals, items she would have taken for a short walk, but not for an extended absence. Third, her money, passport, and other travel documents remained in the cabin safe. Perhaps most significantly, there was no evidence of her going overboard. The ship's motion sensors, designed to detect such incidents, had not been triggered. The weather had been calm, and the balcony railings were 44 inches high, well above Amy's center of gravity. The investigation also uncovered troubling information about the cruise industry's practices regarding crew background checks and security protocols. Many crew members had access to passenger cabins, and the system for monitoring their movements was surprisingly lax. Adding to the complexity of the case, the Rhapsody of the Seas was in international waters when Amy disappeared, creating jurisdictional challenges that would hamper the investigation for years to come. Multiple agencies became involved, including the FBI, Dutch authorities, as Aruba was part of the Netherlands Antilles, and various Caribbean law enforcement agencies. As days turned into weeks, the search for Amy expanded beyond the ship. Missing person posters were distributed throughout the Caribbean islands. The Bradley family, refusing to give up hope, hired private investigators and began what would become a decades-long quest for answers. In the months and years following Amy's disappearance, a pattern of tantalizing but ultimately unverified sightings emerged. each one rekindling hope while deepening the mystery. These reports would take investigators from the beaches of Curaçao to the brothels of Barbados, painting a disturbing picture of what might have happened to the young American woman. The first significant lead came in August 1998. A taxi driver in Curaçao reported picking up a woman matching Amy's description. According to his account, she had been accompanied by two men and appeared distressed. The woman allegedly told him, "My name is Amy Bradley, and I need help." By the time investigators followed up on this lead, the trail had gone cold. In 1999, an American sailor reported a startling encounter in a brothel in Curaçao. He claimed to have met a young woman who, after learning he was American, begged him for help, identifying herself as Amy Bradley. When he returned to the establishment with naval investigators, she was gone. The brothel's employees denied any knowledge of her presence. Perhaps the most compelling sighting came in 2005, when a witness claimed to have seen Amy in a department store bathroom in Barbados. The woman reportedly had Amy's distinctive tattoos and responded to the name, Amy Bradley, before being quickly ushered away by an accompanying man. Despite extensive investigation, surveillance footage from the store proved inconclusive. In 2004, the Bradley family received an email containing a photograph that appeared to show Amy in suggestive posed clothing on what seemed to be an escort website. While facial recognition experts noted similarities to Amy, they could not make a definitive identification. The photo's origin could not be traced. These sightings, combined with other evidence, led investigators to consider a disturbing possibility. Amy might have been taken for human trafficking. The timing of her disappearance, just as the ship was preparing to leave port, and reports of suspicious crew member behavior supported this theory. The Caribbean region was known to have issues with human trafficking, and young, attractive American women were particularly targeted. The Bradley family worked tirelessly to keep Amy's case in the public eye. They appeared on multiple television shows, including America's Most Wanted and Dr. Phil. The case was featured in numerous true crime documentaries and podcasts. A reward, initially set at $250,000 and later increased to $500,000, was offered for information leading to Amy's return. This is a missing person cold case. Your engagement helps keep these cases in the public eye and could lead to new information coming forward. I'm asking you to please subscribe, like, and engage so that the algorithm will push this video to more people. Hopefully, someone might have information about it. Thank you. And let's continue. In 2005, the family took an unprecedented step by filing a civil lawsuit against Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. The suit alleged negligence in handling Amy's disappearance and questioned the company's hiring and security practices. While the case was eventually settled out of court, it helped bring attention to broader issues of cruise ship safety and security. The FBI maintained an active file on Amy's case, periodically receiving and investigating new leads. Her disappearance prompted changes in cruise line security protocols and contributed to the passage of the Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act of 2010, which mandated stricter safety measures and reporting requirements for crimes at sea. The investigation has been complicated by various factors. The international nature of the case meant multiple jurisdictions were involved, often leading to communication delays and coordination challenges. The transient nature of cruise ship crews made tracking down potential witnesses increasingly difficult as years passed. Additionally, the initial delay in beginning a thorough search may have allowed crucial evidence to be lost forever. Some investigators have suggested that Amy's case shares similarities with other disappearances in the Caribbean region during the late 1990s and early 2000s. While no direct connections have been established, the patterns have raised concerns about organized criminal activities targeting tourists. As of 2024, Amy Lynn Bradley's disappearance remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in modern maritime history. Her family continues to search for answers, maintaining a website and social media presence dedicated to finding her. The FBI still lists her as a missing person, and age progression photos have been created to show what she might look like today. The disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley became more than just another missing persons case. It evolved into a catalyst for change in the cruise industry and maritime law enforcement. Her story exposed critical vulnerabilities in cruise ship security and helped reshape how ships handle passenger safety. Prior to Amy's disappearance, cruise ships operated with relatively loose security protocols. Background checks on crew members were often superficial, security camera coverage was incomplete, and procedures for handling missing persons were inadequate. The shocking delay in responding to Amy's disappearance highlighted these systemic failures. In the wake of Amy Bradley's disappearance, the cruise industry underwent dramatic transformations. The Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act of 2010 introduced sweeping changes. Railings were mandated to be at least 42 inches high. Peepholes became required in passenger cabin doors, and security camera systems saw significant upgrades. Perhaps most crucially, standardized reporting procedures for missing persons were established, alongside a public database tracking shipboard crimes. The way cruise lines handle missing passengers changed fundamentally. Gone are the days of delayed responses. Now, immediate shipwide searches are mandatory when a passenger vanishes. Cruise lines must cooperate fully with FBI and Coast Guard investigations, while preserving potential crime scenes. Modern ships are equipped with sophisticated man-overboard detection systems, a direct response to cases like Amy's. Crew monitoring, once surprisingly lax, has become rigorous. Today's cruise ships track crew movements meticulously, with strict limitations on their access to passenger areas. Background checks are more thorough, and every interaction between crew and passengers must be properly documented. The Bradley family's tireless advocacy led to the creation of the International Cruise Victims Association. Their efforts sparked enhanced cooperation between international law enforcement agencies and revolutionized security personnel training. Most importantly, their work raised awareness about human trafficking risks in tourist areas, a concern that had been tragically overlooked. Amy's case exposed the unique challenges of investigating maritime crimes. Jurisdictional issues emerge when multiple countries become involved, and authority in international waters remains complex. Evidence collection across borders proves particularly challenging. Crime scenes on moving vessels are difficult to preserve, witnesses are often transient, and maritime conditions can quickly degrade crucial evidence. Today, cruise line training programs use Amy's case as a powerful example of how not to handle a missing person situation. Her story has influenced safety protocols far beyond cruise ships, reaching into hotel security, tourist safety education, and international law enforcement cooperation. Hotels have enhanced their monitoring systems and emergency responses. Tourist safety education now emphasizes trafficking awareness and proper security procedures. International law enforcement agencies share information more effectively, conduct joint training exercises, and follow standardized protocols for missing tourists. This is a missing person cold case. Your engagement helps keep these cases in the public eye and could lead to new information coming forward. I'm asking you to please subscribe, like, and engage so that the algorithm will push this video to more people. Hopefully, someone might have information about it. Thank you. And let's continue. The Bradley family's ongoing advocacy serves as a crucial resource for other families of missing cruise passengers, anti-trafficking organizations, lawmakers, and law enforcement agencies. Their experience, though born from tragedy, has helped shape a safer future for travelers worldwide. Despite these improvements, challenges remain. The vast expanse of international waters, the complexity of maritime law, and the transient nature of cruise ship operations continue to create investigative challenges. Amy's case serves as a sobering reminder of these ongoing issues. As of 2024, Amy Lynn Bradley remains missing, but her case has left an indelible mark on maritime safety and security. While her family continues their search for answers, the changes sparked by her disappearance have undoubtedly made cruise ships safer for countless other passengers. The legacy of Amy's case extends beyond regulatory changes. It has become a powerful reminder of the importance of vigilance, proper security protocols, and rapid response to emergency situations. Her story continues to be studied by law enforcement, security professionals, and maritime safety experts around the world. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on more true crime cases. Like this post if you found it informative. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Follow for weekly deep dives into unsolved mysteries. Remember, your engagement helps keep these cases in the public eye and could lead to new information coming forward. Your support helps raise awareness for missing persons cases and their families. Every share could reach someone with vital information. Join our true crime community and be part of the conversation. What aspects of this case stand out to you? Share your theories respectfully in the comments below.